But okay, whatever. We'll watch this for a second.
Trump and
The League of Legends pro player, which one?
Harris now back out on the campaign trail after Tuesday night's debate. Donald Trump returning to a rally crowd in Arizona. He spoke for more than an hour, claiming victory in the debate while attacking the moderators. And he also repeated some of the debunked claims he made involving migrants, the 2020 election, and crowd sizes. We, of course, heard those also on the debate stage.
Residents are reporting that the migrants are walking off with the town's geese and even walking off with their pets.
Of course, heard those also on the debate stage.
Residents are reporting that the migrants are walking off with the town's geese and even walking off with their pets. My dog's been taken. And they said we lost. I was told if I got 63 million votes, which is what I got in 2016, you can't lose. Just get 63. I got close to 12 million more votes than that. And we lost, but we didn't lose. Her crowds are zero. Her crowd.
He's so insecure, dude. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. How do conservatives try to like make this guy seem so strong when he's such a crybaby little bitch about every single thing that he's ever like not done well? He acts like a loser. He acts like a loser. And I feel like someone who's like constantly like, I didn't lose, you lost, you lost, you lost, I didn't lose. Like that's like the least powerful thing, the least masculine thing that you could possibly do. And yet they still want to say that like the Dems are the weak, effeminate, little like intellectual girly men. And it's like, damn, dude, this guy's going around like constantly claiming that he both won and he lost and he won and he lost.
She's got no crowds. They bus the people in. They pay buses to bring people. Nobody here rode in on a bus.
They pay for shuttle services because they have so many people that they have to park far away. So they shuttle them in. Yeah. I'm sorry.
All right, joining me now is Sabrina Rodriguez, national political reporter for The Washington Post. Sabrina, good morning. Wonderful to see you. You were at this Trump rally yesterday. We, of course, also heard from Trump that he doesn't want to participate in a third debate. He says there will be no third debate. What did you see on the ground there? What were your takeaways from that rally that we can't see from just watching the sound bites?
I think the number one thing I will say, Casey, was seeing the number of people who do.
I'll see if I'll throw your name out there, Testicle Johnson.
I think obviously that came up during the debate and hearing Vice President Kamala Harris sort of take a jab at him and get under his skin by mentioning that people leave the rallies early. That was something I was kind of keeping an eye out for yesterday.
Don't do it, Doghouse.
And I will
he
say,
has
I
protection.
talked to several of the folks that did leave early, and a lot of people that go to Trump's rallies are in line for 6-7 hours before the rally takes place. We saw yesterday in Tucson over 100+ degree weather. I mean, because of the heat, there was dozens of people that had to be taken out of the line with heat exhaustion symptoms. And really, we did.
Are they just leave? I thought that they were leaving because it's boring as to be at a Trump rally now, right? Like, I feel like in 2020, we would watch so many Trump rallies, right? And there would be news that came out of Trump rallies. But like now, like you could show me 5 Trump speeches from before the debate. Okay? Because after the debate, now he has different talking points because of the supposedly everyone's eating cats and dogs. But before the debate, show me 5 Trump speeches. They will be exactly the same. You won't be able to tell where they like when they happened chronologically. They're boring. You know exactly what he's going to say every single time. It's the same talking points that you've heard for the past 4 years. Yes, Sakana Boy, true. They're leaving because they need to hurry home to protect their dogs and cats from being eaten. Super true. What is your overarching point about the rallies? What do you mean? Where I don't know what you're asking. What is my overall arching point? Like, why do I think people are leaving? I would just say I would assume people are leaving as rallies because it's boring, right? Like they're going there to show solidarity, but then like they don't want to get caught in traffic afterwards. So they're leaving early because they know exactly what he's going to say every single time. He's not telling them anything new. He hasn't said anything new except for the eating cats and dogs thing in probably 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe a full year, like 6 to 9 months or a year. He hasn't come out with anything new to say. It's like watching the same episode of a sitcom over and 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 over. I mean, like the first couple of times, if it's like a really good episode of the sitcom, it's probably funny. But after a while, it's like, I know what the setup is and I know what the joke is going to be, and it's no longer something. I'm just going to turn the channel. I'm going to watch something else, you know? This whole election is boring now. No, it's not actually. It's incredibly tight. Like, 538 election polls. It's funny how he's copy pasted his insults from Biden to Harris. Yeah, and he seems to be confused about who he's running against. Like, it's almost depressing. Oh, shit. Wait, hold on. It's actually getting a little bit better for Harris since last time I looked. But still, this isn't like... I think that in 2020, it was showing 65 to 35 for Biden versus Trump back in 2020. I can't remember exactly. But last time I looked, it was Harris wins 53, Trump wins 47. It was closer than it is now, but this is still incredibly close. And what the like scary thing is, if we go to like the more like Pennsylvania will be an incredibly tight race, and it will also be about as close as you can get to deciding. This one state will be as close as you can get to deciding the actual like results of the race. Oh man. Make own poll or make own electoral map. I couldn't remember the name of the website. Whoops. Like I'm pretty sure Wisconsin is going to go. It's going to be slight, but it's going to go towards the Dems. I think Michigan will as well. Georgia is like a full-on toss-up for me. I would say Nevada, as far as I know, this is something that I haven't looked at for a while, but I'm pretty sure Nevada is closer to Harris wins 55. I'm going to guess that Nevada goes there and Trump wins Arizona. Right? Go away. Right? Georgia is like neck and neck. Right? Yeah, it's 50-50. North Carolina is in play. Oh my God, Harris wins 51 times out of 100. It's a total toss-up, but Pennsylvania is, let's assume that like everything right here goes exactly according to plan, right? And let's say that Georgia and North Carolina go red. It's exactly this state and this is what I think is probably the most likely map as it is right now, right? Now, it's possible that Georgia goes blue, right? But I wouldn't put too much stock in that. It's possible North Carolina goes blue, and that puts her over. But that's not guaranteeing anything, right? Like, Pennsylvania is the state that has to be won by the Dems because the Republicans All they got to do is kill it there. And they have 281 to 257. Silver Bulletin, is that Nate Silver? Man, you know what? When it comes to Nate Silver, after his weird, like, Trump has a 70 or 65% chance to win thing last week that he put out, I don't know how you can I don't know if I would go to him, because I've looked at his analyses. I've looked at several of his analyses that he's put out, right? And it seems like they are, go on, there you go. It seems like, he puts more stock in Trump's camp than he does for the Democrats, right? But like saying Trump has a 60% chance to win and Kamala has like a 35% chance to win, and there's like some percent that it's a possible tie, and there's some percent that like a third party goes in, which is super, super, super unlikely. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to trust Nate Silver with something that's that skewed, When it was like mostly fine leading up, I would probably say that he's a little bit more, generous to the Republicans than I would probably be when it comes to some of these states and some of the issues that are going on in the states. But after that one, that was wild. Oh yeah. This is something that you sent me and we're going to go into here in a minute. But let's watch this here.
Did leave early, and a lot of people that go to Trump's rallies are in line for 6-7 hours before the rally takes place. We saw yesterday in Tucson over 100+ degree weather. I mean, because of the heat, there was dozens of people that had to be taken out of the line with heat exhaustion symptoms. And really, we did see thousands of people turn out. We did see that some of those folks that I talked to that left early was because it was a middle of the day rally, and seeing, the family commitments, having to pick up kids at school. And a lot of people kind of jabbing at me, talking to them and saying, I'm not leaving because I'm bored, I promise. But I think that was kind of one of the sights to see, and some people expressing disappointment at the idea that there wasn't going to be another debate. A lot of people, Trump supporters there.
Oh man, Trump running away from the current conservative cope of only losers ask for a rematch. Trump signed on to 2 more debates with Joe Biden after Biden lost resoundingly in their first debate. Was he a loser then? Did Biden actually win that debate? It's total cope.
We're saying, they would love to see him take the stage again, and a lot of them, kind of reiterating the points he's making, where he's trying to sell that he won the debate.
Sabrina, can you talk to me a little bit about the state of play on the ground in Arizona? Because, as we're kind of tracking these final, just under 8 weeks of campaigning,
God, that's terrifying.
Are these questions about each candidate's path to 270. And I've talked to some sources who suggest that Arizona has really moved away from Kamala Harris and toward Donald Trump. I'm curious if you have picked that up in your reporting on the ground there, what your sources are saying to you about it.
I mean, I think, as we'll say with any state, of just how tight it is right now, I think it applies with Arizona as well. But really, I've been looking at the Senate race here between Democratic Congressman Ruben Gallego and Carrie Lake. And that one is the one that sort of gives me this sense that things might be shifting back in Democrats' favors. A couple months ago, if you had asked me, and looking at polls and just talking to folks on the ground in Arizona, it really did look like there was this shift towards the Republican Party. There was this support for Carrie Lake and Donald Trump. And with that shift at the top of
Carrie Lake is an unelectable weirdo. Okay? She's still saying that she won her governor's race against oh man, I can't remember her name. But she the Democrat that ran against her. The Democrat that ran against her didn't even have to campaign. She didn't do any debates. She didn't do any interviews. She was just there. And she beat Carrie Lake because she's weird as because she says some weird shit.
The ticket. There's been many more conversations that I've been having with more moderate Republicans and independent voters who are a key group in this state that are much more Kamala Harris curious, are much more into this idea of, okay, a new kind of leadership, a younger candidate at the top of the ticket, are sort of seeing that messaging that is coming from both Ruben Gallego's campaign and the Harris campaign that is actively courting those people in the middle, is actively saying, politics can go back to being normal again, and it doesn't have to be people launching insults at each other. So I think there is this openness, but again, I think as we see in a lot of these battleground states, just how tight it's going to be, just how much it may come down to those people who are doing the door knocking right now in intense Arizona heat, and sort of what people are listening to on the
All right, Sabrina Rodriguez for us this morning. Sabrina, very grateful to have you. Hope you come back soon. Thank you.
Yeah, go.